Hey Pisces, this is your tarot reading for the month of May. The way I like to do this is I start out with the vision that I had for you in my meditation time. And then from there, I'll pull tarot cards and oracle cards as guided. As far as the vision for you, I was seeing walking on, and it's not necessarily you, but just the concept of walking on like hardwood floor kind of. And I'm a heel walker. Like, I don't know, like I know there's, you're not supposed to walk on your heel like that, but I don't know, it's weird. I do. And but the idea of like when you do that, if like you're wearing heels, or even if you're wearing maybe like loud shoes, like say tap shoes even, or something like that, on or different kinds of shoes with, like I said, where the heel's a little bit of a different material and it makes noise, the click, from here to here, and like that, not resistance, but that kind of change in tone that signifies one place versus another place. The other thing in that is it was the idea of that, like not the similarity, but maybe for some people the similarity, but also the contrast of that. And then like the idea of like, if like you get like a part of your shoe, or like say like the heel of your shoe, or when like stuck in something and it just feels like it's almost like a sudden drop, like that sudden drop, like if like your heel like gets stuck in like a crack or something in the sidewalk or something, that sudden drop. And there was something about the similarity between both situations of like this drop going this way, but also like that variation of not status but state of being or where you are, and then the sudden drop of like you're walking and then like you think you're on solid ground and then like your heel drops, or things like that. I don't know. I mean, as far as what it can mean, it's different things. I mean, a lot of times walking in your shoes, it's a path you're on, or it's, things in your perspective and your viewpoint, or, take a walk in my shoes. So it's like, your path, or, what you've experienced in your path, or how you experience your path. And so sometimes that momentum of this change of cycle to this, like that change, like you can be so used to that sometimes for some of you. So then like for some of you, it might be to where when you feel that drop, it almost feels similar, but it's like kind of shakes you out of your element to where you're not, like, it's weird. Like you're not sure, okay, is this because I'm just standing still and I'm solid ground and it's okay, I don't need to worry? Or like, am I stuck here and I can't continue moving? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like for some of you, it's different things. We'll pull more, or we'll get more into with the cards, see what the cards show. But that's just kind of the idea I get with, at least so far as the difference between them and how you guys can be taking things on your path. I wanted to use the Crystal Unicorn Tarot. It's a miniature deck, or mini deck, or whatever. So yeah. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, let me know how this resonates and how everything works for you guys. I love to hear that. But yeah. So Spirit, God, Universe, what message do you have for Pisces? The March of May. Wow. Okay, sorry. The month of May. What message does Pisces need to hear, especially in regards to that vision for the month of May? Maybe some of you needed to hear this for March too. Who knows? I was gonna say too, like the vision, or what I get in that, some of the element, like even the stages of where you are in that transition and how it feels different on this moment versus this moment, and the sound is different. That's similar to one of the readings of last month. But I don't remember. I want to say it's Taurus, but I'm not really for sure on that. So don't quote me on that. But if you feel guided to watch last month's Taurus reading, or if you guys, have Taurus in your chart, you might want to check that out. I don't know. Maybe that's for some of you. Spirit Guide Universe, what message do you have for Pisces for the month of May in regards to the message so far? Ah. Wow, okay, that was interesting. Actually, one moment. Okay, I just need to double check something on my camera. Let's just do 4. And I don't do reversals, so. Oh, these are such pretty colors. Wow, even more so for this deck than normal. 10 of Cups. Knight of Cups. The Moon. And Page of Swords. Hopefully you can see that. So 10 of Cups is, it's generally, you know, a completion. A lot of times it's, I mean, a lot of you guys, there's 2 cups, so relationships, and this one's mental. So some of you are dealing with relationship situation. And it's basically, it's like it's this, excuse me, 10 of Cups is about, it's like you've achieved this relationship. You've been in this, you know, this connection. It's almost like, you know, you've got the family and everything. So you've built this, and it's that state of knowing that in order to continue this, you have to keep taking care of yourself, and you have to keep, not for yourself because the other person won't, but taking care of yourself, meaning respecting yourself and loving yourself and hold true to who you are, so you don't lose yourself in the relationship, and so that you can be your best self in the relationship and in general, just to give all of your circumstances, you know, the best chance for, yeah. So I was gonna say, for example, for some reason I just drank a bunch of coffee. I don't drink a lot of coffee, and I like to, you know, have an excuse for, you know, being off my game sometimes. No, I'm totally joking. But anyways, yeah, I don't drink a lot of coffee, so when I do, I usually feel the effects of caffeine. But yeah, so that's what that is. And it's funny because, like, this one's like looking up and this one's looking this way, and it's like, that's really part of it. Is it doesn't matter if, like, the other person is where the other person's looking, like in a relationship, in a marriage, you know, whatever it is, in this union, it doesn't matter where the other person's looking. You need to be looking at yourself, but also, you know, your divine purpose and who you are, you know. So even they can be tending to all this, but you can't ever lose sight of you. You know, that's kind of what that is, at least to me, in regards to what I feel with this. Knight of Cups is, you know, it's movement, but it's movement in like emotional and intuitive sense. So it's like it's really fully in emotionally and not intellectually, intuitively, but it's really passionate too. But it's not like the fire passion, like, okay, we got to do this, and like, it's not like a Wands energy. It's more like flowy emotion and like really just all in that way. Moon, a lot of people read it really secretive. I don't believe I'm seeing it as secretive in this one. We'll see as we go through reading. I like to see it as more so a matter of like, you're following your destiny, you're following your path despite any kind of distractions. In this case, I see for you specifically, it's funny, like this, look at that right there. It almost reminds me like a tower there, like a symbol of like a tower. So it's like, even if you can be like distracted by, oh, remember this happened, or, you know, everyone else, like, are they following too? Who's following, who's not, you know? It doesn't matter. Like, you're still following your path. So it's a matter of following your instincts and following your path And really it's about instincts, sorry, like it is your path, but the card is about instincts. Maybe some of you guys need to hear the path part, but regardless of distractions. So, and then this is potential a lot of times, or it's a messenger, but it's in the sense of mental and communication. And a lot of times with the Page of Swords, it's about being stuck in your head, kind of, where it's like you're, you know, hearing like, okay, this thought and this thought and this idea. What about this? What happens about this? What if this? What if that? And like, it's kind of not moving. Like they're literally just like sitting there with the sword in their mouth, and it's like they're not going anywhere. It's not pointed any direction. They're looking one way, but it's like, I know this isn't about it, but they're looking one way and then their hair's blowing this way, which I know is like logical, but I just have a feeling for some of you, it's an idea of you're looking one way, but then like your instinct or your, not motive, but your, not even intention, it's more instinct, is some of it's instinct and some of it's momentum is to go the other way, even if you're looking back. So, and it's funny too, because a lot of these clouds are really low. So I feel like a lot of times too, clouds are like, can be like thoughts and stuff like that too. So it's really low. It's like your thoughts belong one place, you know, they belong in your head, everything like that. And like now they're starting to come down. And when they come down, clouds, when it's lower, it's fog. So it becomes a fog. It fogs up things. It makes it to where instead of being able to move and see things clearly and go forward, it's like, it's not harboring. It's limiting you in that sense. It's, you know, it's blocking your eyesight. It's blocking your view. So it's a matter of being stuck. But it's funny. So it's like a lot of you guys, in relation to the vision, it's like a lot of you guys, you know, you might be in a place where emotionally you're all in, but you're trying to, it's like you're trying to take this energy, I feel like, into, you know, into focusing on yourself. So you're taking this like all in passion and emotional passion, though, intuitive, like really just like, I don't know how to describe it, flowy. I mean, like, especially with this card, if you look at this card, and this is an intuition card, or not intuition card, but intuition, like cups is really big on that, and emotions and stuff. There's one group of you guys where like, because this thing's here, and I just feel like there's an element of not being able to see the horse's face. I mean, I know all the Knights cards in this have that, but I feel like for some of you, it's actually deliberate. And so it's a matter of like, when you go into that place, it's hard to see you because you're so all in your emotions that like, it's almost like you're unreachable. Like you can only be reached through that. And even then it's like, well, you're kind of not stuck, but you're kind of biased is kind of the word, but it's almost like you're like, not tainted, tinted by that for that moment, you know, while you're in that. And then for others of you, it's a matter of when you go in, it's almost like you're secretive. And it's not because you're secretive, but you're just, again, it's you're in there, but it's also you have like a protection. For some of you, like you put this protection on the outside while you're like, okay, let me just dive deep inside. You know, leave me alone. You know, I need to have me time and all that. So I feel like this energy to do this is really happening with that. And some of you guys, it's a matter of, because you really do understand that's the only way you can keep this unit together, whether that's a relationship, whether that's a partnership, whether that's even like a connection, or, and it doesn't really have to be romantic. It could just be relational. So it could be for some of you a connection where it's, so the whole unit, everything works together. So we can all be amiable. So we can all work together and not work together holding back, but work together and have this union, you know, have this, like for some of you, there's kids involved, and you guys, you know, there might be people that are like together for the kids. And like, so there's this idea of in that, you know, going forward with this energy, but then you come here and, you know, you keep getting reminded, well, what about this? And what about this? And, you know, and it's almost like this idea. I feel like when seeing these two here, especially in this card versus other decks, for some reason I see it for, you know, your reading right now, is the idea of like, some of you are getting really caught up on what's everyone else doing. Not because you're comparing yourself to others, but your value is getting taken away in your mind when you do this. It has been, from focus on you to, okay, well, all the people that are with you. And so a lot of you right now are really trying to get into this place of staying your path, but really finding your path individually as you, as who you are. You know, carry the cup that you brought to the table, carry all that. I'm not saying that you only brought one, but basically that concept, carry the cup and not let it fall, even though it sometimes seems a little bit wobbly. You know, there's no support there. So sometimes it feels wobbly. And it's because, you know, you're in this place right now where this is what you need. You're trying to work on you, but you're trying to juggle a lot at once. And part of that juggling is because you're juggling who you are in this. And then you're also trying to figure out and discover, you know, how to juggle this. Because then when you come here, it's about, you know, the potential. See, I'm trying to see potential. I don't believe it's so much necessarily about the potential. It's not that part of page, but it's like that idea of non-movement and, you know, at rest, and not rest, but, you know, basically in your thoughts. So it's like you're taking this and then you're coming here, and then it's just like causing all this cloudiness and all this fog. And it's really hard to see through all that, especially when you have this mask here and you're trying to do this, but then you're trying to do this. And it's like, and I feel like for some of you, this is like your ideal you. Like this is you trying to get to where you want to be. For some of you, not all of you, but you're trying to get to where you want to be. And I know this is the lobster or whatever, but I feel like some of you, it's like this is you trying to like blossom into this. Like it's like you're in this state and you're here, but you kind of, some of you have been feeling like this is imposter syndrome. Like you have this, you're here, but how do you actually fulfill this to the point to where you're satisfied with yourself? So you're like, okay, well, I'm a lobster right now. I'm not saying you are a lobster, but you know, that's how you might have been feeling about yourself. So you're trying to be like, oh, okay, there I am, you know, for some of you. As far as with the vision, it's really, I mean, each stage looks different. And some of you, I feel like it's kind of been really hard for you because when you're in this stage, you're wondering when you're going to be here. And when you're in this stage, you're wondering when you're going to be here. And it's just like each time you've kind of been really hard on yourself because you've had all these clouds around you. So you haven't been able to value you in that stage, in that moment, for what it is. And in not doing that, you've also not been able to rest fully in it and allow that to happen. Allow yourself to utilize it at its best. And it's no fault of yourself. It's just, it's something that's kind of hindered you. But this path you are on, like there's a rainbow here, it really feels like it's all divinely guided. Like everything's forward moving. I mean, this one's looking back, but that's kind of what happens when you get lost in your thoughts. But it's facing this way. So it's like everything is really forward moving. So you are like, you're on the right path. You're going forward. It's just when you do this, you know, you've got that and you've kind of questioned yourself, like, is this what I'm doing? Or am I stepping and then like getting stuck? And you know, if you feel like you're stuck in that moment, why am I not here? Why am I not here? Why am I not here? You know what I mean? I mean, not saying you want, but yeah, for some of you, it's just you're questioning why you're not in the next phase. And that's why, or you're questioning thinking you're stuck. You know, it's almost like if your heel gets stuck, like you're questioning just because there was a little crack there. Maybe there's a crack there. It doesn't mean in that next beat, it's almost like a beat because like here's your stepping and then this and you do this. You could just get up and do that. But a lot of times you naturally, what would happen is you do that and you know you did that and this foot would go first and then you kind of wiggle and then get out there. So, I mean, you could go that way, but it's sometimes there's a beat to things. Sometimes there's, you know, not a resonance isn't the word I'm looking for, but you know, divine time. It's instinct. It's, you know, what the path is. So it's like just because you feel like it needs to be somewhere else, you need to be across the street and you're, you know, in this crack in the sidewalk that just made you remember that like you can't fly because you fell straight down into it. So like it took you out of your element. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you and it doesn't mean you're in the wrong place. So I really feel a lot of you guys need to see that, especially like this. It's like this whole thing that's created, let me show you, with the lobster, that whole like, not whirlpool, but you know, it looks like that. Like if there's other fish or other animals around him, it looks like it's like sucking them in. And it's not because it's a bad place. It's wrong. It's just that's what's happening in the time. So that's a lot of times when you're dealing with these situations and you feel like, for some of you, you feel like, you know, you're in the, not collateral damage, but you're like in the moment while someone else's disaster is happening, and it's like not seeping onto you, but, you know, spilling onto you type thing. And you're like, oh no, now I'm stuck again. You know, some of you, it's because, you know, like as you're focusing on these people and they're getting stuck in their stuff, and then you suddenly feel stuck, you know, and it's not really, it's just that moment, you know, you're supposed to take that time, allow yourself to rest, allow yourself to go inward, but don't judge yourself for not being at a different state. You know, you're right where you're supposed to be. It's just sometimes there's going to be calm waters there. Sometimes it's not going to be calm. Your main focus is just to keep doing you. Keep going. Keep on going on this path where you're going to this self-discovery. But remember, when you're here, this is a moment of non-action. And I feel like for some of you, you're kind of right here. And you're choosing to look back at this. And some of you, you're choosing and you're like, okay, well, am I leaving this? Like, is me doing this leaving this? And if that's what's happening, that's what's happening. But regardless, it's like you're looking back at that. And I really feel like in looking back at that, that's what's creating a lot of these clouds to come down. And it's not because you can't be second guessing yourself, even like this, like they're doing this, but there's nothing wrong with this unicorn, you know, looking up and say, you know, like aspiring, you know, it's not like they're abandoning their family because they're aspiring for a higher purpose, you know, like these ones are totally together. And it makes me think of like how a lot of times, you know, like our kids they'll mimic or they'll, follow patterns that they see in the home. And it's like they're totally like connecting. And that's not always the case, but I feel like symbolically for you guys, for some of you, like you really have to see like what's the fruit of what's happening right now. There might be some chaos every moment, or not every moment, every once in a while, sorry. Some of you might be telling yourselves it's every moment, but really you have to look back and say, is this really every moment? Like there was some good times. There's been a lot of good things that have come from this. So some of you guys, that might have been a slip for some of you where you have to really see, like, you have to really take it for what it is instead of putting a label on it, because it's easier to say that it's every moment, when in reality, you've just had your ups and downs. It's funny too, because this water's here, this water's here, this water's here, and the water, I don't know if there's water down there. It seems like there's water around that. So it seems like all of these have that same river in it. So it's all following. Again, you're on the right path. But what I was saying is, that's not with everybody, like not every family that happens, but for some of you, I really feel you need to understand, like I said, is there fruit? Is there fruit coming from this path that you're on? Is it helping the people around you? Not are you helping them, but is your actions and your self-love and your seeking your self-love inspiring others, or, you know, putting people in a position where they need to trust themselves and grow and everything? Because, you know, you're not responsible for the growth of everybody around you, but you're responsible for the growth of you, and that will trigger a whatever effect, a domino effect in the energies around you, and that will bring blessings to you and around you, and just it'll cause a whole mindful mentality of abundance. And everyone, because as you trust in that, the more you learn to trust in the universe, you learn to trust in God and what, you know, God's spirit universe has for you, and trust that, you know, everything is in his hands. So I think that's the main thing there. I keep wanting to say there's more to this, for there's a group of you that this is. Okay, there's a group of you that this state also not just looks at this, but the state specifically looks at this. And when you look back in that mentality, you're in a logic mentality, in a material things, in your head trying to logicize everything mentality. And when you look back and you see this state of yourself, when you were in this spiritual mentality, you've kind of judged yourself. It could be a spiritual mentality, but there's also an element of putting on this protection. So there might be some of you that right now, this is where you're at, and there's been a state in your life recently, or, you know, further back, where you kind of have been having a hard time moving forward because you've gotten stuck on, well, why did I do this? Why did I go to this place? Why did I think that this cup was gonna stay up there when I wasn't equipped to carry it? You know what I mean? Why did I think that I could just tune out? Not saying you were tuning out, but in this mentality, when you look back, that's what it looks like. But when you were there, you weren't in the wrong. You know, you weren't, your heart is fully, like, I feel like for this is fully connecting. What's really funny is this whole time I've been saying this reading, so I feel like maybe this is for two people. I've been saying this reading as if this guy, this horse or this unicorn is this. Well, it is that one. But really, this is the purple one. So some of you guys, that's the situation where like this one's moving forward and this one is like looking at everything you guys have together and like, you know what I mean? I think regardless, it's kind of the same message, but I might have just confused people. Sorry about that. And some of you, like, you're looking at the other person, like you want to fall, you want to see them more, you want that's your goal. Like some of you don't want to leave this, and your goal right now is to like grow with the other person. But regardless, you need to grow in yourself in order to do that. But like I said, this one is looking back at this one, at that state of yourself, and being like, some of you at least, why did I do that? Why did I think I could go to that place of spiritual meditation, intuition that might have looked like an escape and think I could carry all that? And it's not because that could have caused some problems, because when this person's unreachable because they're in that place, it could cause some problems, but it might be, it's almost like a tower thing. It's like, it might be things that needed to fall anyways. So it doesn't mean go back to that, but you can't hold grudges against yourself for states that you were in before that actually could have brought a lot of growth, might have brought growth and brought a lot of self-realization to yourself. And you were in a place of really valuing yourself, whether the only way you knew how at that time, at least. Okay, yeah. So, oh yeah. Okay, and then something else with this is, yeah, this one's really judging this one, because I feel like when you're doing that, you're seeing, like, see how that, like, that crystal's hidden? I mean, it's behind that. But I feel like some of you, it really is, you keep looking at this and you keep saying, yeah, I was blocking this possibility, I was blocking this manifestation, I was blocking all these blessings, and all this could have happened and could have been done right if only I didn't do that, if only I didn't go to that place. So some of you guys are really seeing it as like you crossed your own blessings out, you crossed your own path out. And it's not really you crossed your own path out, it's those things were gonna happen anyways. That stuff, they were, the tower, all that whole idea, that was gonna happen anyways. You just went to a place and went in yourself the way you knew how at the time. And some of you guys, it could have been unhealthy things, but you were doing it in the right heart. And right now you're not in that anymore. So you're in a healthier place. You just can't look back and judge that, because that's what pulls you back to that mentality in a bad way, because now you're beyond that. You're even stronger in that. You can be the Knight of Cups, you can be that, but it's not going to look like this anymore. Today's a new day. So you just can't beat up on yourself. Let's see. And then let's pull from the Work Your Light Oracle deck. I don't know. I want to be the person that... Okay, what I really want to do is I want to edge all my cards. Well, I don't know all of them, but a lot of them. And then I want to be the person that like puts them all in a thing, and like I just know them because they're colored on the edges. But then I also like having boxes, but I don't like pulling them out of the boxes. So we'll see over time if I jump on any of that. I might just do a few edging though, who knows? We'll see. Because a lot of readers on YouTube don't actually keep all their cards in boxes, so it makes things quicker. But, you know, I like to do things this way right now. I hope this is resonating for you guys so far. It's exactly the message you guys need to hear right now. So yeah, oh, actually, let me see. Yeah. So what message do we have, Spirit, God, Universe, do you have for Pisces in regards to the reading so far and the vision so far? What message does Pisces need to hear for the month of May? Sorry, I forgot to, oh my gosh. Hold on. I was gonna say I forgot to set my intention and I was about to be done, but I think I need to continue shuffling now. Hold on. Because I don't like the fact that I saw like a bunch of those. Yeah, okay. Apparently, I wasn't done shuffling. Messages for Pisces for the month of May. Where I almost did it again. Whatever, we'll do it that way. I'm gonna do 2 cards. Yes. So, awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. Exactly. I said and this is a new day. Even if you need to go into a state of an emotional and, you know, spiritual, psychological, not psychological, but intuitive place and dig in yourself and go in yourself and process and go forward in this way. Today's a new day. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. You guys, like, you can't always think that everything's going to be exactly the way it was before, even the good or the bad. You know, you're not limited to that. You know, let the universe do what the universe is going to do. You know, you're going to grow, whether you like it or not. You're going to get the opportunity to grow. Now, whether you take it, whether you see it, that's on you. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. Yeah, again, like everything's already divine plan. It's funny too. It's grandmother of Jesus, and like in a, not thinking of the Jesus story, but just in general with people, it's like your grandmother, your great grandmother, all that came even before you. So it's like grandmother of Jesus. If Jesus is like divine plan, then grandmother of Jesus is like, no, this is like been going on. This has been like this has been your destiny, and this is your plan, and this is your purpose. This is like what you're for. Like, this was set out way before you even thought this was a good idea, bad idea, whatever. It was set out way before this, way before this. You know, you're on your path. Okay, so these are people. See? I mean, I think they're all people. But they're dark and everything's light. So I feel like, symbolically speaking, it's almost like those are rocks or pebbles. I know they're not, but I feel like sometimes when you're walking and you're on your path, like on this path, like, see how they all have this? That's so cool. I love that. Like the synchronicity there. You're on your path. And even, see the towers there, and then the towers here, like, oh, that's so cool. See, look at that. Bam. Okay, anyways, when you're in that place and, you know, you're on your path and you run into these things, whether they're dark, whether they're just throw you off your game because you're in this light and it's a different light, you know, it doesn't matter. It's thrown you off. It's made you question things. It's made you think maybe you're in the wrong. It's made you think, I almost want to say this area is polluted. And not because it's polluted, like I'm saying that's what it's made you think. And not because it's polluted, but rather because it's almost like tainted. Like some of you feel like you've had to delve in yourself and grow and focus on yourself. And I feel like some of you, it's brought up a lot of skeletons. And this is somewhere you don't really want to be. And it's not because it's not your path though. It's just because you keep running into little things, sometimes people, sometimes, you know, sometimes even wounds from the past. And it's like skeletons in your closet. But this is all necessary. This is all part of it. And then like you have this freedom you're going to, like literally, like this is where you're going. You just have to trust that tomorrow is not going to look like yesterday. And I mean that in a good way, and like I mean good way, whatever, but like basically like you can't assume that you have the same tools to cope and the healing and all that tomorrow as you did yesterday, if that makes sense. Like tomorrow you have all the experiences from today to guide you and to add to your repertoire whatever of tools, or of you know what I mean. Basically, tomorrow's a new day. I don't know. Like, I hope you guys understand that. So, like, when you're going like this and you're stuck, your foot's stuck in the thing, you know, you have this one go and then boom, okay, good. You don't have to stay in that place. I posted today on Instagram, what was it? It was just like a little saying thing, and it was like, the idea of like, oh, today's a chapter, every day is a different chapter, whatever. I don't know. There's tons of chapters in your life, and you don't need to get stuck in today's chapter. And it's not that today's a bad chapter. It's a great chapter, but you don't need to get stuck there. You know, there's plenty of things tomorrow. There's plenty of things coming up. You know, you stay where you're supposed to be. You don't guilt yourself for being where you are. But then allow tomorrow to come. Allow your mentality to change as tomorrow comes in. Allow yourself to mentally acknowledge today is a new day. I have new opportunities for wisdom. I have new opportunities for growth, and I have new opportunities for healing. And I already have new tools today that I didn't have yesterday or the day before. So I don't know, sorry, not trying to be preachy, but I get passionate about this stuff. So I really hope this resonated for you guys. You guys have so much stuff coming ahead of you in a good way. Like, I mean, in general, you guys have all sorts of like blessings, abundance, a whole new like road ahead of you. I mean, this is what's on the, I don't know. Usually I don't show the bottom like this, but some of you, maybe that's something you need to see right now. It says Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, Teacher. Some of you guys are on this path to grow and be teachers and teach other people how not to be stuck in their pains and stuck in their woundings. You know, you have so much for you. Don't be limited by tomorrow, or not tomorrow, by today or yesterday. Because today or yesterday has its own value in today or yesterday. But tomorrow is a new day. Sorry, now I'm like getting sing-songy with it. Sort of, not really, but. So I hope that resonated. Again, you know, thanks for all the likes, comments, and subscribing. It's super like important. It helps me know what you guys are liking, what's resonating.